All right, William Jensen here at Pro Tour Magic Origins for the first draft. This is the guy that the Pantheon turns to for their draft strategy. Let's see where he's sitting here at this first draft pod. William Jensen, the number 16 ranked player in the top 25 ranking right now. We see that he is passing.
Feeding Yuya.
Feeding Yuya.
How stacked is this table, right? Reigning player of the year, platinum guy with 2 top 8s trying to get back to platinum, right?
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
Sure, future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, multiple time player of the year.
Totally stacked table. This should be fun.
So let's see how William Jensen navigates these rather white-capped waters. All right. So there you get a look at the Pro Tour Hall of Famer as he looks through his opening pack. You know he won't take the... Oh, wow.
Walker. Yeah. The rares in this set are not nearly as amazing as the rares were in the last block, but there's still some certainly good ones. There's a lot of good uncommons in this set, too. You often find yourself taking sort of a powerful uncommon or rare and then starting to try to sculpt a deck around that. This has got to be a Hangerback Walker pick here. None of the rest of these cards compare in power level, I don't think.
Right. We know from watching Yuya Watanabe's draft that the Nantuko Husk gets through to Yuya. And yeah, there he does take the Hangerback Walker. So you could play that at any spot along your curve.
You can. And it doesn't give him an archetype yet. I mean, it's going to be at its best in a blue-red artifact deck, right? That's the deck that has the most synergy, but the power level of the card is just fine in whatever winds up getting passed to him.
Ironically, also pretty good with an Nantuko Husk.
Yeah. Enthralling Victor.
So he's looking through the pack, see a Shambling Ghoul, see a Charging Griffin. He's got a Skyraker Giant near the front of his...
Interesting. Is there a Rock Smaller in there, too?
There is a Rock Smaller. He's got Rock Smaller second.
Those do seem like the best cards. I know you're a big fan of the Skyraker Giant.
I mean, I just like, it's like Summit Prowler, but better.
Right. Summit Prowler was a great common, and this guy is Summit Prowler plus Reach.
I mean, I don't know that I want to second pick him necessarily, but I like the card a lot. I like having it in my deck. There's a lot of incidental 1/1 flyers running around in this format.
Where the reach kicks in?
Yeah, and the reach really does kick in.
And
so there
that's where he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rock Smaller I think is tempting, but it's a mana more expensive. And green is super unpopular amongst the big teams.
I have not heard anyone go, wow, I really want to be green.
In fact, I've heard people say anything but green. Topin Freeblade, wow. 3rd pick, Topin Freeblade. That's a signal.
And that's a card that, when we've talked to teams here, almost universally is one of the top non-removal commons.
Yeah, I think it's the best common creature in the set.
So also a Celestial Flare in the pack.
Yeah, white looks kind of open. The fact that you're getting 3rd pick to Topin Freeblade, you could count how many rares and uncommons are missing from this.
There's an Massacre in the pack, too.
Right. So this is an easy Freeblade for me. Huey seems to agree completely. Wow, you know what that means? Remember Yuya in pack 2 got tempted by Topin Freeblade? He took 2 of them that would have gone straight to Huey if Yuya hadn't effectively hate drafted him.
Rune Servitor.
Jeez.
Wow. It doesn't look like Huey was short for Topin Freeblades here.
How many would you play? When do you start cutting Topin Freeblades? I would play 10 of them. I might play 15 of them. You can't have too many Topin Freeblades. It's not a thing.
And just to give you an idea, right? Talk about how important 2-drops are. Huey had shuffled Rune Servitor to the front of the pack early on, right? Because he's just thinking about curve. You know what I mean? So when he sees a Topin Freeblade, it's a slam dunk. You just
absolutely
want to be able to play creatures early here in this format. So Mighty Leap.
Yeah, the combat tricks in this format are very good. So he might actually Mighty Leap here. In fact, I think he should, right? What else is he going to take?
He could also take Titan Strength.
He could take Titan Strength. He could take Enthralling Victor. I think we know he doesn't because Yuya gets it. But
a Veteran Sidearm is also a possibility.
I think you take a combat trick here. It's either Mighty Leap or Titan Strength. Titan Strength might be slightly better, but Mighty Leap is in the color you're more confident you're in.
And he doesn't want to pass a white card there because he wants his person next to him to pass him all the Topin Freeblades.
He totally does.
In the next pack.
Yuya gets 1 white card out of pack 1.
There's another Mighty Leap, another Veteran Sidearm, so...
Read the Bones is not a bad card. Do you just take another combat trick? The thing about this format, especially when the pros are playing, Renown says you must block. And everybody knows that. So you need to be playing creatures to the board in the first couple of turns, and then your opponent needs to block while he takes Read the Bones.
He does take Read the Bones, yeah.
It's the best card in the pack, for sure. And maybe it means black's a little open. It's one of the better black commons. But so if everybody's going to block, then combat tricks just become spectacular. You get to blow your opponent out with a well-timed combat trick.
Right. You see a Grasp of the Hieromancer, Chandra's Fury.
Not a great
Alchemist
pack.
Vial is also a fine card for forcing things through and lets you just get a little velocity as you dig into your deck because you draw a card when it enters the battlefield. It looks like he's thinking about the Alchemist Vial.
Sure. It's a solid pick there.
Yeah.
Some people might take Grasp of the Hieromancer there. Some people, Grasp of the Hieromancer is kind of a, people are split on how good that card is.
I mean, it's not the type of card that you ever really see.
This is the pack where Yuya gets that Cleric, because Huey's going to make the better pick. Enshrouding Mist might be the best removal spell in the set.
I'm with you completely on that. It's just
it's like Unholy Hunger. No, Enshrouding Mist is a much better removal spell than Unholy Hunger. Just 1 mana, instant speed. They're going to block. There's going to be a creature
certainly
combat.
If you have the Topin Freeblades, it is.
Absolutely, and he's already got 2. Now he's going to take a Tactician, adding to the white creature set. Yeah, the Enshrouding Mist, that's the weirdest thing about this Origins limited format. It's just how insanely good those combat tricks are. Might of the Masses, Mighty Leap, Enshrouding Mists, Titan Strength, those are crucial. Wow, Charging Griffin, it's a pretty late Charging Griffin.
Yeah.
White is open.
Yeah, he's got to feel like
white.
he's in a great seat here. Could still be white-black.
Yeah, he doesn't know his second color.
He's not locked into red at all.
He's not locked into anything, honestly.
Right.
If he opened a blue bomb, he could totally be blue-white flyers from here. He could be green if he wanted to be green. Then you just take the Jailer and hope you don't have to play it, right?
We saw a lot of Jailers in play in Dallas.
No, it's playable. I mean, sometimes you trade, you get to this mid-game where it gives you something to do with your mana.
There's Yoke Docks.
Not a whole lot to do with your mana in late game in these aggro decks, so also, if you're aggressive enough, having a W1/1, it's playable.
Sure.
You'd rather not have to play it, though.
Orb of Warding.
Wow, I love where Huey is. He's found, I mean, it's kind of the dream, right? He found the underdrafted color, and it's white, which is almost certainly the best color. Doesn't know what his other color is, but I mean, you get past 2 Topin Freeblades, you open a Hangerback Walker, you're just happy. His red is just the Giant, right?
Yes, just the Giant. I think, did he pick up a Chandra's Fury also? Or did he take...
I don't think so. I think he took Read the Bones out of that pack.
Yeah, he did.
So his black is just the Read the Bones? Basically, I mean, he does not know his second color. He's just white.
And then Hangerback Walker just gives him this kind of late game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in great spot. Man, that one Cleric that snuck through, and Yuya is going to first pick a Topin Freeblade here out of a mediocre pack for him. If he ships Huey 2 Topin Freeblades instead of putting them in his own sideboard, Huey's deck is in great shape. But you know what? I think Yuya was totally right to hate draft that. Like, the second Topin Freeblade is pure hate draft. He knew he wasn't playing it at that point. But he wants to 3-0 this pod, and this is a tough table. He's got to beat the Hall of Famer if he wants to 3-0 the pod. So Huey's going to be short 1 Topin Freeblade. I wonder what's going to happen with Huey's second color, though.
Could very well be determined by whatever he opens here.
Absolutely.
So, like you said, he is whatever if the best card here is, he can play it.
Yes. Let's see the rares and the uncommons.
See,
Whirler Rogue.
Gearcrafter.
Another Hangerback
Walker.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think he would have taken Whirler Rogue if it wasn't for the Hangerback. A lot of people will tell you Whirler Rogue is the best uncommon
I didn't
in
even
the set.
see the Whirler Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the top couple of uncommons in the set, but...
Sure, it's top 2 uncommons. It's Whirler Rogue and Sentinel of the Eternal
That seems to be the consensus. Yeah.
But doesn't be...
Sure.
Yeah, Mythic uncommon or, bomb rare. Takes another quick glance through the pack, sees what he's passing.
Yeah.
And so now he is getting... This is the first time we're seeing what... He's getting passed by Yuya Watanabe.
Yeah.
By multiple-time Player of the Year Yuya Watanabe. So we know
who's
from
not
watching
passing him
who's
a
not
Topin
passing him a
Freeblade.
Topin Freeblade here. Yeah.
Blightcaster, Leaf Gilder.
Leaf Gilder's nice when you're trying to ramp your mana up for your Hangerback Walkers.
That's true. Green. Nobody likes green, though. Green is the consensus worst color in this format. I heard tell of some of the big teams that have only 1 green drafter at their table, and then that guy would go 1 and 2. It's like, if you're the only green drafter at the table and you still can't win, that is not a good sign for the color.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had some elf decks that look pretty good. And green-white, if you get the Castellan, the uncommon renowned guy, that deck can be good.
It looks like
Castellan's quite
Oromancer.
good. I mean, Oromancer's the best white card.
Yep.
It's no Topin Free Blade, especially when he doesn't have any enchantments to get back right now. Wow. Yuya doing work.
There's another Auramancer. There's an Elvish Visionary.
Sigil's pretty good for his deck.
Oh, yeah. Then the
Sigil, sorry.
The Stalwart Haven.
Or the Stalwart Haven.
Yeah. 1/3 flyer, Renown. Remember, he did have that that Read the Bones, so the Unholy Hunger might be looking good to him here.
I think I would take Stalwart Haven over, because he doesn't know he's black. He doesn't know he's white.
Yep.
Stalwart Haven is just a good, solid common. He does. Sigil would be solid in his deck, but Stalwart Haven's probably better.
All right. And there's a Suppression Bomb.
Interesting. Yeah, if he's black-white, that Auramancer pick could really come in handy. If he manages to get into a black-white enchantments deck.
There's a Blood Curse Knight that could very well make its way all the way around the table.
If there's no black-white enchantments table, I mean, that'd be pretty late for that to table completely around. Did we see Yuya kill that Blood Crazed Knight?
I don't remember. I
think it gets all the way back to Yuya, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it definitely gets back to him.
But I think Yuya took it. So that's 3 cards. Enshrouding Mist.
Things are starting to come into focus here for William Jensen. There's Way to the
Underworld.
Yeah.
I like Way to the Underworld here. Yeah, I think black-white enchantments is kind of open. There's a chance that you'll get the Miracle Blood Crazed Knight all the way back around. It's a solid, it's a decent removal. You've got Auramancer already. This is one of the best things you can get back with an Auramancer.
Right.
Your suppression bonds tend to stay in play, but Way to the Underworld obviously kills a creature. Auramancer can get it back, so.
There's an Amber Tactician, another Vial.
Fetid can be good in some black
I saw a
decks.
Leda Crone Sergeant floating around there.
Yeah, but Tactician is better.
Yeah,
I don't think,
absolutely, but.
Yeah, Tactician's not amazing, but solid guy. Lets you have an aggressive curve, lets you sort of pump the team up a little bit. Now suddenly your Renown creature doesn't trade, it actually beats up their guy, and they have to take a hit, and now you trigger Renown for the rest of the game. Anything that forced through a Renown guy has just extra value above what it might in another format.
There's Grasp of the Hieromancer, Sigil of the Empty Throne.
Is he a Sigil guy? Some people think Sigil is amazing in the black-white enchantments deck. Other people are like, you pay 5 mana and have no impact on the board until the next time you play an enchantment. It is swingy. Certainly can be amazing if you set the right situation up. Wow, he's just going to put Chandra's Fury in his sideboard, essentially. Doesn't want to get...
Could still be red.
Could still be red.
He's still straddling red and black. He can go either way here. There's a Skyrim Giant. There's a Cleric of the Forward Order. He's probably going to take the Cleric here.
2-drops are great. It's in this format where creature combat in the first couple turns of the game is so important. Just as a vanilla 2/2, forget about the life gain. Just 1W 2/2 is totally reasonable. So he does take the Cleric. Actually has enough combat tricks, I think, that he could pass that Ensnaring Mist or Enshrouding Mist and not feel bad about it. Plus, here's another one if he wants it. It's either that or Way to the Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, take another Way to the Underworld, right?
Thinking about the late game with the Rogue's Passage.
Rogue's Passage is solid, but
he takes the weight.
With an Auramancer already, with black-white enchantment synergy cards floating around the table.
Right.
Plus, who knows how many of them are going to get open in the next pack.
Kills a negate there.
And when you heard the 4-mana guy casting 4-mana enchantments, you want the negate in your sideboard rather than your opponent's deck for sure. Auramancer comes back. Sign me up. That's great. 2 Way to the Underworlds already. That is perfect.
And a Suppression Bomb.
Sometimes the Suppression Bonds goes to the graveyard, right? Especially against somebody who can, sack into a Nantuko Husk.
Wow, late Enshrouding Mists.
Yeah, this pack was really good for William Jensen. He doesn't know what could have been.
Right.
That he could have been past this deck plus, 2 Topin Free Blades and a Blood Crazed Knight.
Right.
It could have been that much better.
Sure.
It still has been fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
and remember, he's also got 2 Hangerback Walkers on top of everything else.
His deck is great. I think he's drafted the seat well. I think he found that white was underdrafted. I think he then figured out that black was underdrafted, so he's in black-white enchantments with a good, solid, aggressive white base. I like where he's at, and I love the way he's drafted it. Yeah, nobody's doing anything wrong. It's just like two great players are both doing great things right next to each other. This has been fun to watch.
Yeah, got that stalwart Avon, which I think he's very happy with. See him just sorting through his cards, trying to figure out what he needs. You know, thinking about his colors. Can I switch if something happens?
I feel like he's in on black white. He's what? Read the bones, wait.
Yeah, double weight is
With double Auramancer.
pretty hard for him to get off
I don't think he's
of,
going to get away from that. I mean, it would take a crazy bomb to outweigh 2 Weight of the Underworlds and a Read the Bones with 2 Auramancers in your deck. Now, he's hoping for Bloodcraze Knight. He probably remembers passing the one. He'd love to see one come back. If somebody opens one in pack 3, it should get to him.
Sure,
like the first one circled the table before it wound up in a sideboard.
Oops.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Was that Hixus we caught a flash of?
that was a Hixus.
That's a fine card for a white deck.
Grasp, there's an Nantuko Husk, there's a Cruel
Cruel Revival's
Revival.
also solid. It's got to be Hixus.
Hixus,
Cruel
Prison
Revival's
Warden.
good, but it's not like he has zombies to get back since he's base white rather than base black.
Yeah, it looks like
Hixus is what, 4/4
right.
and flash and can lock a creature out of the game. Yeah, easy Prison Warden here.
Right.
His opens have been solid, right? Hanger back, Hixus.
Yeah. Oh wait, Cruel Revival's made its way to the front.
There's no way you take that.
He's
here.
toggling back and forth. Which is it gonna be?
Look, if you're base black with a bunch of zombies and you're looking at the double white Hixus, I could see a case for Cruel Revival, but not in the base white version.
Yeah,
of this deck.
he does take the Hixus. And oh, okay. We didn't lose picture. That was just the broad shoulders of William Jensen obstructing the camera. There's a Topin Freeblade.
Number 3.
Oh my God. Where?
This deck's awesome.
Yes. Could have had 5, but 3 is insane.
I just want to watch the match when Huey and Yuya run into each other. I don't know which round it's going to be in, but I don't know how anybody else is going to beat either of these decks. Both decks look great to me.
There is the 3rd Topin Freeblade for William Jensen.
I mean, they have to run into each other, or somebody has to knock one of them off.
Seriously, how big are his shoulders? Look at this. All right. There's a Read the Bones.
Oh, Patron of the Valiant.
Wow.
That's a great pickup. And a Knightly Valor. Patron's got to be better.
Patron of the Valiant could actually put counters on something in this deck.
It's true. 3 Topin Freeblades,
and a Stalwart Avon, yeah.
He's got 4 renowned creatures that could potentially already have a +1/+1 counter. And even if you don't trigger that ability,
it's still just a 4/4 flyer 5.
For 5.
Yeah.
Love this deck. This deck's great. I mean, it'd be better with a Bloodcraze Knight. Be better with another Suppression Bonds. But it's great. Nantuko Husk. Sigil. Do you take Sigil here?
He's looking to just
Jailer got shuffled to the front. Nantuko Husk got shuffled to the front, too. I don't know. I think Sigil is the kind of card that can break through a stalemate. You get sort of a bunch of creatures lined up on there. So Nantuko Husk.
But Nantuko Husk Hangerback Walker is actually insane.
Oh wow, yeah.
He's got double Hangerback Walker. So you sacrifice the Hangerback Walker to the Nantuko Husk. It gives you some number of counters that you can then either fly over with or sacrifice in turn. Wow, Vryn Wingmare or Cleric of the Forward Order.
It's 2nd Cleric of the Forward Order.
Looks like...
Interesting. You want the 2-drop that can gain some life.
It looks like he wants the 2-drop.
You want the 3-drop flyer. It tells you how much value he puts on Mana Curve here. Now, if we had a couple more Topin Freeblades, I'll stop. You're right. You're totally right about the Nantuko Husk Hangerback Walker synergy, though. So Nantuko Husk can just all of a sudden, +10, right?
Now, would you have taken the 4th Nantuko Husk?
Yes.
Okay, there's an Enlightened Ascetic.
for the sideboard, and so
sideboard,
nobody
sure.
else has it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
else
you
there
might,
for
and you
him.
might, there's times you might want to get your creature out from under a claustrophobia. You might want to kill a Thopter Spy Network.
Yeah, he's not going to main deck it.
No,
but
no.
He could bring it in situationally. Plus, it's very good against his deck. So.
Sure.
Well, it's good against his
Sort
deck.
of, yeah.
The Weight of the Underworlds probably don't hang out and play. They
No.
tend to go to the graveyard. Oh, my God.
Here.
Oh, my God.
I mean, talking to people about this draft format, Topin Freeblade is a card they most wanted to open, but they've been flying around the table.
What did everybody else draft? Yuya's got 4 enthralling victors. He's got 2 active trees and 6 steal effects, 5 ways to sacrifice the creature that he steals. Huey, despite getting counter drafted by Yuya, still has 4 Topin Freeblades.
4 Topin Freeblades. And an Anointer of Champions.
here,
Wow.
or
It could also have a third cleric, but
You take
Anointer of Champions is just
Easy.
spectacular with
Yes.
4 Topin Freeblades.
Yeah, now suddenly my Topin Freeblade attacks as a 3/3 the first time.
Right.
And then a 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Anointer is just the perfect one drop in a Topin Freeblade deck. Didn't even consider the third cleric. Just- wow.
Now, this is, I mean, 2 of the finest decks I think we've watched back to back on the same
gonna kill
draft
another
coverage
Chandra's
from the same
Fury.
draft table. Yeah, he's going to kill a Fury.
There's some people who think that card's great. And we've seen, I think,
It's fine. I mean,
Team
it's
Pantheon may be on the this card's very good side because he's put 2 of them in his sideboard relatively early in packs over sort of, Grasp of the Hieromancer type situational cards that you can imagine.
he has enough white cards that if the card's really good in the matchup, he might be able to even pivot into a
Mighty
white-red
Leap.
build. There's a Mighty Leap. That's
It's
always
a
good.
particularly good combat trick with Renown, right? You
Yeah.
just hop over once and get the trigger.
You see his
Love this
growing
deck.
stack of cards. Yeah, I love both of these decks.
Not
that
a
we've watched.
ton of synergy the way Huey's has played out. Like the Enchantments theme is really minor. Wow. another
very
Read the
late
Bones.
Read the
It's more
Bones.
just a value deck. And that's
Yeah.
the way a lot of these Origins draft decks will play out. There's a lot of just good cards. The archetype synergies are at there's the one uncommon cycle. He's got a couple Auramancers with a couple Way to the Underworld. It's not a ton of synergy. Mostly it's just great value cards, some card drawing, some removal, some beatdown, some combat tricks. Yeah, a couple Auramancers is where the synergy's sitting.
Give the deck a grade, Randy.
A-?
An A minus.
It may be a solid A, like 2 Hangerback Walkers. The minus is only because I know that if
Like if
a
we had,
different
if we'd
player
watch,
was on his left,
if we'd watched this draft first,
Yes.
you'd give it like an A
yes,
plus.
Yes, but I saw that we could have had a Blood Crazed Knight and 2 Topin Freeblades on top of every single card he drafted anyway.
Is this a 3-0 deck?
Well, one of Huey and Yuya is going to 3-0, and the other guy is going to 2-1. So
Okay.
it's a 2.5 deck. I don't know which one of the, I want a front row seat when those 2 run into each other. That's what I want.
All right, there you have it. The draft, you're going to be able to watch all of these picks. You can go to the draft viewer a little bit later on today. You can watch all of these picks for all 8 seats, see what you would have done, see if you would have passed all those Topin Freeblades if you were sitting somewhere else on the table. For Andy Buehler, Brian David Marshall, sending it back to the news desk.